fighters are ready. The fighters are ready. The boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now.
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. Press conference live on DAZN.
Boulevard World, as always, looking magnificent. It is day 3. You know what that means? It's press conference day here. Latino night continues. And by the way, it's Thursday. Oscar De La Hoya is on stage. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Let's get into it. For those of you wondering what I meant by it's Thursday, Oscar De La Hoya on stage Thursday, come on now, clap back Thursday. Oscar's made these things famous and he could be doing a live one for us tonight. We are back in Mexico World in the magnificent, as I said, Boulevard World. It is day 3 being the press conference day, and let's keep tradition going here. Monday we had the mariachi band, Tuesday the mariachi band. Let's continue it now. This is Thursday. Mariachi band, take it away.
Este es el cuatro aumentado, el rey de todos los sones. Este es el cuatro aumentado, el rey de todos los sones, querido de las mujeres, apreciado de los hombres, querido de las mujeres, apreciado de los hombres. Oh, yeah. Para mi sol de México. ¡Ajá!
It is good, isn't it? It really is. And I can't wait for them to play out the weigh-ins tomorrow and obviously Saturday night as well, fight night here. Look at that shot. That's a magnificent shot. We've done a bit of a reshuffle in the studio as well. You know, like every time a big fight week comes along, everyone likes to do their own type of preparation. I like to study and watch a bit of YouTube. Sergio is obsessed with golf. Anytime he can play golf, he'll play golf. Rosaldo, well, this man likes to fight. He had a fight 2 days ago, and he wouldn't know he had a fight. He had a fight 2 days ago, and he said, Gabe, great to have you with us.
Hey, thanks, man.
You had a fight a couple of days ago, Gabe. Yeah, what's going on, Gabe?
Well, it was an exhibition. For the other guy, it wasn't.
He wanted to take your head off. I watched it.
Yeah, he came in crazy, and I was like, I just got to make it for my flight, and I'm here, man.
You are here. You are here. First time in Saudi Arabia as well. Great to have you with us, Gabe. Gabe, what do you make of all this? You've done so many press conferences, but nothing like this, Gabe.
This is great. You know, we're in Saudi Arabia, but the vibe is like we're in Mexico, so it's dope.
It is dope as well. All right, press conferences. Sergio, I always think of you as someone that was quiet at press conferences, didn't use it to get under your fighters' skin, on their nerves. Some fighters like these, though. Some fighters look at this as a final chance to say something, to get something sparked.
Certain fighters that like attention because they want to market themselves, so they want to be bravado. They want to say all the bad things, all the things that get them in the press, the newspapers, and all that stuff. Most fighters, especially the humble, dangerous ones, they don't need all that. They do their fighting in the ring. They do the fighting mano a mano.
What about yourself, Gabe? I know you like to say a couple of things at the presses, Gabe.
Yeah, man, I did a little trash talk every now and then. You know, my mother didn't like it. You know, she'd always correct me. Don't talk like that, Gabe. But, you know, sometimes
You
get hot.
Sometimes you got to do it. All right, let's remind you of what we got coming your way on Saturday. It's really a fantastic fight card. And kick things off in the welterweight division. Ziad Al-Mayouth takes on Juan Garcia. Then we move to the super lightweight division. Oscar Duarte will take on Batir Akhmedov. Akhmedov coming in for Kenneth Sims Jr. on a couple of weeks' notice. That's a really good fight. Oscar Collazo takes out knockout CB Freshmark. Remember, that is a unification fight in the minimum weight division. Then I think one of the best fighters around today, William Zepeda, 31 fights, 31 wins, 27 knockouts. Takes on former IBF super featherweight champion Tevin Farmer, who thinks he's got something to prove come Saturday. Jose Ramirez takes on the unbeaten Arnold Barboza Jr. Those two have been circling each other for years. And then we get another unification fight in the cruiserweight division. WBA and WBO belts on the line. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez takes on the gentleman Chris Billum Smith. Let's focus on that main event. Gabe, it's a good one, isn't it? I mean, I always felt like, how in the hell did Zurdo make 168 or 175? Because you look at him, he looks like a genuine cruiserweight. Yeah,
he's a big dude. You know, I've done a few training camps with Zurdo, and he would come into camp, you know, 200 plus pounds. He was always a big guy. So, you know, it was only a matter of time for him to move up to the cruiserweight division. And I think he looks great, man. Quick feet, nice hand speed. And, you know, I think this is it for him in the division.
Yeah, this is the fight against Joe Smith. It was almost like a bit of a catch weight, really. I mean, both of those guys came under the cruiserweight limit. But you almost feel like he's now, Sergio, filled out into a proper cruiserweight. This was against Gudamario, and you can feel like, you look at him, that's a proper cruiserweight.
He filled out because he has wide shoulders and he's almost 6'3" tall. So that's the reason he's able to, you know, fill out nicely like that. But he doesn't carry the power. So the Gudamarian still has the power. Smith is going to have the power. That's the reason he uses his legs and goes body work. And he's going to have to jab. He's going to have to fight off angles and stay off the ropes. If CBS is really implementing his game plan, that means Zurdo's going to be against the ropes. If you see Zurdo moving laterally and clockwise, he's in control.
He does have the power, though, Gabe. I mean, again, you've sparred him, so you know the power that he possesses. I mean, he can go in there and put his own stamp on this one.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Zurdo is he knows how to switch up speeds. So he'll tap you up with about 3 shots, and then he'll throw that hard left hook to the liver. He knows right here, when he was hurting Barrera, it was through that hook to the body.
Yeah, look at this. So once he sits on his shots, obviously we know, Sergio, that he can move, right? He really has good feet. But when he decides to kind of plant those feet and throw those big hooks, especially the body shots, he can hurt you.
That body shot's special because he throws an uppercut, the right uppercut, and then that opens up that clean liver shot. It's a beautiful shot, but he also comes around with the right hook around your elbow. So it's really hard to hide your ribs when you're fighting a fighter like Ramirez. And when it comes to Smith, he opens up his elbows. He loves throwing that right hand. He chops it down, goes straight ahead, but his elbows are always up looking for the knockout. I think there's going to be an avenue for body shots for Zurdo.
Yeah, Zurdo nearly perfect. The only defeat, obviously, is against Dimitri Bivol. No shame in that. Dimitri Bivol, a fantastic fighter. Was you surprised by that performance against Bivol, or just Bivol that good?
I think, honestly, it was just probably Zurdo was probably training himself to make that weight. So I think it was just a matter of more of just, because, you know, Zurdo, he had the skills and the ability to beat Bivol. I just think the weight was too much for him. Eventually now he's a cruiserweight, but I don't think light heavyweight was for him.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of this guy fighting at 175, you can see how small he looks here now compared to the way he looks now. It's a completely different fighter, but Bivol very special on that night. All right, let's talk about the other champion. I almost feel like he's been slightly disrespected. I've come here as the Brit to kind of stick up for him a little bit. Chris Billum Smith. Again, you look at the resume of the two. He's beaten the better cruiserweights. Lawrence Okoli, Richard Viatpur. You stood next to Chris Billum Smith yesterday. He's a big cruiserweight.
Big man, and he's smart. I love the things he said. I love the strategy that he's gonna, you know, come to the ring with. So he's ready. I mean, I hear the stories about how hard this man works, how conditioned he is. So yes, you could tell that he has the strength, the power, and the confidence. This is a moment he's been waiting for. But stylistically, when I watch him fight, he wings his shots. He keeps his chin in the air. Look at the elbows, all right? Just for a little minute. Look at the elbows when he's coming forward. This is what Ramirez takes advantage of, that little torso area. That's what worries me about him. But if he stays off the ropes, and if he can get Zurdo against the ropes, start digging away to the body, not letting him come back with a counter, then I could see him using his size and his advantage.
There was one knockout there that Rosado kind of like, it was that step back right hand that you did the same thing against Melokuziev.
Yeah. And you know, Smith, he's a strong guy. He's powerful. And one thing that he's going to have to use is that strength with Zuldo. When Zuldo's throwing those pitter-patter shots, Smith has to sit down and get that respect from Zuldo, where Zuldo doesn't get too comfortable just throwing pitter-patter shots, where maybe he puts Zuldo on defense and then Smith can just work the body and the big headshots.
All right, let's have a look at the cruiserweight rankings. I almost feel like it's a division that not many people talk about in America. A lot of the fighters on these rankings, I'm guessing outside of America. Jai Pataya, considered by many the #1 in the division. I think that's fair. Crispin Smith there as well. We see Mykolayan, no one talks about him, the WBC champion. I will say this though, Badu Jack is the WBC champion in recess. Zerdo Ramirez there, Papin, Riakpo, Gulamarian. This really, I think, I mean, no disrespect to Mykolayan in there, this for me is #2 versus #3 in the division.
It is, because we all know #1 is Jai Alpataya. I think, you know, the general consensus is Alpataya is #1. You can make a case for CBS to be #2. He's been the cruiserweight longer.
Based off what he's done as well.
And his resume and what he's been doing. But like you said, I think the winner of this is definitely #2 and deserves a chance to unify with Alpataya.
What do you make of Alpataya as a fighter? You would have watched him.
For me, I think Zuldo is the guy in the division.
Yeah?
I think Zuldo's the guy in the division just because...
Can we get Sergio's head shake there? Can the camera pick up Sergio?
Because Zuldo, he's so technical. You know, and we were supposed to fight, but obviously he couldn't make the weight because he's a big guy. But when I would spar Zuldo, I just paid attention to how he used his legs, how he set combinations. He's a real smart, intelligent fighter, and his IQ is incredible. So for me, Zuldo's the top guy in the cruiserweight division.
140-pound division is, I think, probably the most stacked division currently right now. The co-main event is a good one as well. Jose Ramirez, member, former unified champion in that division, takes on the unbeaten Arnold Barboza Jr. Really good fight, this one. These two have been circling each other for so long. Finally, they get it done. What do you make of this one in the 140-pound division? I come to you first, Gabe. What do you think of Ramirez here?
This fight might steal the show.
Yeah.
This is a great fight. You know, these guys kind of got beef. They were signed by the same promoters at one time. Now they're both for Golden Boy. I think that Barboza, this is the fight that he's been dreaming for.
Yep.
Because, you know, it's hard for Barboza to look good against guys that no one knows. Now he finally has the name in Ramirez, and I think he wants to show out. And I think we're going to see a special performance by Barboza.
Yeah, I think Barboza's been waiting for this one for a long time, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be really good on Saturday. Ramirez, last time out against Rances Barthélemy, maybe not the best Ramirez. He's been so inactive. Am I giving him an excuse there because he only has been fighting once a year since the Josh Taylor defeat?
He's been very inactive. He's been very frustrated because of that. But I think the Barthélemy fight was another cause of inactivity and not being up for that fight. But he shook off that rust in this fight. And let's not make it seem like Barthélemy's like some nobody, some chump. He's been up against the top fighters, and he's only come up short against top fighters. He's a slick fighter that could switch southpaw. I think it was a headache. That was a wrong style matchup. Barboza's going to be right in front of him. He has nifty feet, but he doesn't have power. He's going to be able to go through the shots. So the bigger man is going to be Ramirez. The stronger man, Ramirez. The more experienced man on the championship level, Ramirez. So check out all those boxes. I don't know where people think that Barboza's going to win this fight.
Hunger, maybe?
Hunger,
Ramirez
footwork.
has been to the mountaintop already. Barboza wants what Ramirez has had.
Listen, all of that comes into play, but whenever you're dealing with experience and whenever you look at the resume, I'm always going to go off of resume, off of hunger or ambition, or off of what a fighter's saying. I think Ramirez should be the slight favorite, but I agree with Gabe. It's going to be a hell of a fight because you can never count out hunger and hard work and determination.
Barboza unbeaten, as the record books say, but last time out against Macomb, it wasn't the best performance. He's fighting a 6'1" southpaw, so again, it's going to be tricky, but he needs to look a lot better than he did against Macomb to get past Ramirez.
Absolutely. See, Macomb, like you said, 6'1" southpaw. Who wants to fight guys like that, first of all?
Not a good matchup.
No one wants to fight southpaw, let alone a 6'1" southpaw.
But I'll tell you what, who is going to be fighting 6'3" southpaw? That's Chris Dillon Smith, but that's another thing. Yeah, you try to avoid fighters like these, but the thing about Macomb is that, look, that was a moment where Barboza actually caught him on the flat feet, but most of the time he was moving around the entire ring, around the perimeter, and he was good on the inside. He had the good little shoulder roll. Sneaky fighter, man. He was a sneaky good fighter, but Barboza was able to pull it off just with just grit and determination.
Gabe, have we seen enough from Barboza to say that he's at that world level, the elite world level at 140 pounds?
We'll see Saturday.
That's the answer.
Ramirez is the guy, and we'll see. But like I said, you know, Barboza fighting these guys that we don't know. They're good fighters, but we don't know them. And it's tough for him to for us to, you know, praise him and put him on that level until he beats a guy like Ramirez.
Yeah, I said the other day that William Zepeda is on this card as well. I mean, that's our stat. This card is that William Zepeda is so far down. It is one of the best fighters out there right now that's not fought for a world title. He takes on Tevin Farmer. That's an intriguing one. 31-0, Zepeda. Why has he not fought for a world title yet? What's going on, Sergio?
Well, he's been the #1 contender for a long time. He has a great promoter in Golden Boy behind him.
He's #1 with every
I just
sanctioning
think
body.
people do not want to fight him. You know, he's one of these guys, another southpaw, who throws 100 punches around 1,000 if you go the distance with him. He's a buzzsaw, and in order for you to keep up, you have to have some kind of power or you have to have movement. You have to have a little bit of both. So that's the reason this man hasn't got his shot. I mean, he has been calling out Shakur Stevenson. He's been calling out anyone. They don't look his way. Too much risk, not enough reward. But here comes a southpaw, a former champion in Tevin Farmer, who's slick enough to slip some of these punches, but does he have the power or the strength to keep him off? That's the question.
Yeah, no one's been able to deal with the volume of punches. I mean, this guy is throwing punches in bunches every single round. I mean, you're going to have to be slick, right? Tevin Farmer, though, to be fair, Gabe, is slick.
Yeah, Tevin Farmer was a slick fighter. You know, he shook off some rust in his last fight because he was laid off for such a while. So I think coming into this fight, being that he took that out the way and he had a 10-week training camp, he's going to present a better performance for Zepeda. But, you know, Zepeda's on a roll right now. And when fighters are on a roll and they're hungry like Zepeda, they're hard to stop.
You know, when you speak to Farmer, he almost feels like he's being disrespected here. He's like, okay, you guys have just brought me here, so you can make a comparison as to how Zepeda would do with Shakur Stevenson because I fight like a bit like Shakur. This guy could cause an upset. I mean, look at Tevin Farmer. He's been there, he's experienced, he's grown into the weight class as well, Sergio. He's coming to win. He's not coming here to lay down.
I think he's going to give Zepeda some issues, especially early. I don't think it's going to be a one-sided fight like a lot of experts and critics believe. That championship level means something in boxing. That southpaw style means something. The fact that Farmer's only lost to world championship fighters means something. So I think he gets out of the first half of the fight. The second half of the fight, the body shots, the pressure, the volume, the Mexican style, that's when we're going to start seeing, okay, Farmer's going to need more than just boxing and being a slick southpaw. He's going to have to fight off this Mexican. And those are the questions I don't think he could answer.
How much hunger do you think Farmer has left? It's been a long career, I think 40 fights now. He's 34, which I think in today's age is actually quite young if you can look after yourself. Yeah. What hunger has he got left?
Well, you know, he lives a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. I think he's very hungry. He's determined. You know, he explained in the fighters meeting why his layoff, it was, you know, it was happening during the pandemic and he just had trouble not getting a fight. I think he's hungry, but like Sergio said, the second half of the fight, we're really going to see a difference if Farmer could keep up with the pace that Zepeda brings.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pace as well. But again, going back to what you said, Sergio, that championship experience, what Farmer has, you never know, right? You never know how that could play out. So many good fights on this card. Everyone's been talking about Oscar Duarte, what he can do at 140 pounds as well. He takes on Akhmedov, a late-minute replacement. But you look at the card from top to bottom. I'm looking at the guys behind me. It's a good one. It really is. Quickly, on this press conference, it's going to be split into two. We've got the undercard guys nearly ready to go behind us. And then we have the main event press conference as well. This is exciting, isn't it? It's good to be here in Saudi Arabia and seeing all this. You would have taken a fight in Saudi, well, you still might take a fight in Saudi Arabia. Just before we chuck to the press conference, Gabe, what's going on with you, Gabe? I feel like that wasn't just a little exhibition fight for you, Gabe. I'm looking at you, you're in shape as well. You want one more, don't you?
You know there's this kid out there, you know, named Prolonga.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You know? So, no, man, you know, we've been calling him out. He said we was going to make it happen in Puerto Rico. Eddie Hearns called me. He said he wanted to do it in PR. I said, Eddie, let's do it. Yeah. You know, the exhibition, it was just an exhibition.
Just
you know what I mean?
A little ring rust.
Just a little warm up, you know, shake it off a little bit. But I'm ready to start camp and get it popping in Puerto Rico. What's up, Rolanda?
It's a big fight in Puerto Rico, isn't it? It's a big fight in Puerto Rico. I said that. I said, look at this, straight down the barrel as well. What's up? What's up, Balanga? I'm not getting involved.
Sergio's going to help me. He's going to be my sparring partner.
I'm done, man. My legs are shivering when you're talking about sparring right now.
All right, minimum weight fight as well. Let's give these guys respect as well. Oscar Chiazzo, who I think is taking the minimum weight to another level, right? I mean, the small guys don't normally get the love, but he's talking about it. He's putting himself out there as well, managed by the great Miguel Cotto. I like what Chiazzo's doing. You're a countryman.
Man, I love his style. His footwork is kind of like Lomachenko.
Yeah.
The way he cuts the angles. And you know what I loved about his last fight? He got hurt, but he overcame adversity and he fought back, stuck to the game plan, and got his guy out of there.
Yeah, I mean, again, 105 pounds he fights at. The smaller weight guys now, Sergio, maybe it's because of Chocolatito and Estrada and what they did, everyone seems to talk about them because you know you're getting 10 or 12 rounds of pure action.
They have to fight harder because they need that attention. They need all eyes on them, and the fact that they have to.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the press conference. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. And His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey Al-Sheikh. It is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Sella, in association with Boxer, Miguel Cotto Promotions, Cancun Boxing, and Lou DeBella's DeBella Entertainment, along with our great sponsors: Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tahunia, Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfidi. A big thanks to those great sponsors. And some great news, courtesy of His Excellency, Turkey Al-Sheikh. This great event is available for free. You can watch it globally on DAZN, in the UK on Sky, in the United States on Telemundo and Fox Deportes, in Mexico on TV Azteca, across MENA on BN, NBC, and STC TV, and around the world for free on DAZN. Let's now welcome our Part 1 press conference participants already seated. First, here is Juan Garcia. Ziad Zizo Almayou. Batir the Shark Akhmedov. Oscar La Migraña Duarte. Tamanoon Knockout CP Freshmart Nyomtrong. Oscar El Pubilo Collazo. Kevin, two-time former. William Camarón Zepeda. Arnold Barbosa Jr. Jose Ramirez. International Boxing Hall of Famer, founder, and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And now we hand things over to your host, Mr. Chris Mannix.
Well, thank you, Thomas, and welcome everybody to the final press conference for LatinoNight here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. One of the hallmarks of these Riyadh season cards has been the depth of them. And this card, this fight card, is absolutely no different. It is spectacular from top to bottom. 5 fights on this undercard, and most of them could have been main events in their own right. We've got a unification fight at 105 pounds, action fights at 135 and 140, and a grudge match between two top 140 pounders that have been circling each other for a very long time. To begin, I want to bring up the man responsible for this event, the former 6th Division world champion, the Boxing Hall of Famer, the founder of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much, Chris. First of all, thank you very much for everyone for being here. Thank you very much to Turkey Al-Sheikh. We greatly appreciate your hospitality. Riyadh season, everybody here in Riyadh, the people have been just amazing. The hospitality has been just incredible. We feel grateful, we feel blessed, we feel at home, basically, especially being in front of the Mexican pyramid here. We strongly feel that these fighters here that you're about to see Saturday night, mixing it up inside the ring, will fight with a lot of passion. The Latino style boxing, the Mexican style boxing, boxing in general, there's something about this card that will bring out the very best in every single fighter out here. When Golden Boy Promotions put this card together, we were thinking about making sure that every single fight is a main event style card, style fight. Evenly matched. They're tough fights for both sides. We don't know who's gonna win. Only they know. But one thing we know for sure is they're gonna fight with a lot of passion. And that's what this fight card is all about. Passion, that Latino flavor. And I'm so very happy, excited, ecstatic that His Excellency, if it wasn't for him, this card would not be possible. He's facilitating for the whole world to watch it for free. If you don't have the zone, download the app and you can watch this fight for free. If you want to watch it in Spanish, you can watch it on Telemundo, from Puerto Rico, in Mexico, TV Azteca. This card will be historical. It will be one that you do not want to miss. And this card here, you will remember 10 years from now where you were at, where you saw this fight card. That's how good this event, that's how good these fights are going to be. And that is guaranteed because every single fighter here, we know personally, every single fighter here we've worked with, whether it was grooming them from the start, whether it was developing their career over time, whether it was taking them to a world title like Oscar Collazo, who is an amazing, amazing fighter, but he's in a tough, tough challenge here tonight. So a reminder that this Saturday will be historic and the whole world will know, Riyadh and Riyadh season. So thank you very much, His Excellency, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. Now I want to hear from a few of the fighters. We'll bring them up here to the podium. This is, of course, a Latino-heavy show, but it does have a local flavor. Opening up the broadcast is an undefeated welterweight from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the Saudi superstar, Ziad Al-Mayouf.
I was just saying, it's the first time I get on the podium. Feels good to be here, you know, feels good to feel a lot taller than a lot of people sometimes. First of all, I want to kick things off by thanking the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman, and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for their trust, their vision, and their faith in me to represent the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Also, thank you to His Excellency, President of the General Entertainment Authority, Turkey Al-Sheikh, for the opportunity and just the belief in me to be a flag bearer in the sport of boxing. What you're seeing today in front of you in Saudi Arabia in a Saudi fighter is the product of a quote that I always recite to myself, and it's Dwayne Johnson that said, it's either one day or day one. One day or day one. And the product you see today out of Zizo is someone who chose to make it day one. Not only day one for me, but I've chosen this career to empower, to motivate, to inspire young dreamers for their day one. For their day one, for everything that I've went through, for everything that I had to go through, push through, I do it all for them. And Saturday night, you will see something magical. I expect it to be tough, but this path has always been tough. It's been a hard path, but the harder the path, the higher the calling. And I believe this is a dreamer. Zizo is a dreamer. I am a dreamer for all Saudis, for Saudis, by the Saudis, who chose to make it day one so I could one day be Saudi Arabia's first world champion. Saudi Arabia's first world champion. And God willing, I will make this happen, inshallah. Thank you.
I love it. Quoting The Rock early on here in Saudi Arabia. You got to love that. So in boxing, we know that anything can happen and any fighter can change his or her career path on one night. That's what Juan Garcia is here to do. So please welcome from Mexico City, Juan Garcia.
Muchas gracias por acompañarnos en esta conferencia de prensa, a toda la gente. Y pues más, solo espero ofrecerles una gran pelea para todo el público y espero que disfruten esta pelea.
So, good evening and many thanks for being here. I just hope to give a really good fight. I have a very good opponent in front of me, and I'm happy to be here in Saudi Arabia. So, looking forward for the fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan. So this next fight, I think, has the potential to steal the show. A battle between two come-forward 140-pounders who can both punch, power in both hands, and neither one of them has any intention of seeing the final bell. I want to bring up first one of the most entertaining fighters in the 140-pound division. 27 wins, just 2 defeats, and 1 draw. Please welcome Oscar Duarte.
Buenas tardes a todos. Estoy muy contento, estoy feliz de estar aquí en Riyadh. Y pues comentarles que este sábado va a ser una gran pelea contra Batir. Él es un buen peleador y yo también soy un gran peleador que vengo muy bien preparado. Hice un gran campamento allá en California y pues estoy muy orgulloso de representar a mi tierra mexicana. Y este 16 de noviembre vamos a ir con todo. Thank you for the support. I'm very happy for this opportunity. I'm very excited and ready for this Saturday. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here, all of you. I feel great. I have a great camp. I have very strong opponent in front of me. Soon on Saturday evening, you will see of what I'm made. Thank you so much, Saudi Arabia.
Well, Oscar's opponent, I think, is an example of why records sometimes don't mean a heck of a lot in boxing. 3 losses on the resume of this man, but all 3 of them easily could have been wins. He very easily could be a world champion right now. The former Olympian, former 2-time world title challenger, please welcome Batir Akhmedov.
Hello, everybody. Всех приветствую.
Я очень рад быть здесь. Благодарю организаторов Riyadh Season и Турки Алишейх за предоставленную возможность. Также Golden Boy Promotion, спасибо. Моим промоутерам World of Boxing, моим менеджерам Вадим Корнилов. Эту субботу, я думаю, с моим соперником покажем отличный бой. Он отличный боксер, любит агрессивный вид, стиль бокса, так же, как и я. Я надеюсь, что у нас получится показать один из зрелищных боев. Также я приглашаю своих мусульманских братьев поддержать нас, посмотреть, поболеть за нас. Всем спасибо большое.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to tell thank you to Golden Boy Promotions, His Excellency Turki Ali Sheikh, Riyadh Season, my promoter World of Boxing, my manager Vadim Kornilov for this opportunity. I have a very strong opponent, and I believe it should be a very good fight, and I expect that this fight will be fight of the night, and I want to invite my Muslim brothers to come for this fight and support me. Thank you very much.
Еще хочу передать привет своим родным. Белял, Малика, Исмаил, я вас люблю.
So we know there's a unification fight at the top of this card with Zurdo Ramirez going up against Chris Billow Smith. Also, a unification fight on the undercard, 105-pound unification fight with the Ring Magazine belt also on the line. To talk a little bit more about that, I want to bring back up the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm super excited for this next fight. The minimum weight unification fight presented in association with Miguel Cotto Promotions. And we do have Miguel Cotto here with us. Great world champion, great person. The fight between Collazo and Freshmart is particularly notable because they stand as the #1 fighter and the #2 fighter in the world, which means the best is fighting the best. And in order to win the Ring Magazine World title, you have to win it in the ring. There are no politics. It's #1 and #2 fighting for supremacy. And this fight here is the best fight in the minimum weight division that you can see. We are excited to present this fight in Riyadh Season on this card. And I can assure you that Oscar Collazo is probably and most likely in the best shape of his life. And his opponent, the champion, who is undefeated, the champion who has a tremendous winning streak in world title fights, is in the best shape of his life. So this fight here, the little giants that I call them, are gonna fight for ring supremacy, for the world title, the one that matters the most, the #1 and #2 in the world. So I'm very pleased, very proud to present this event, this fight here in Riyadh. And thank you again to Turki Al Sheikh. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. I'm excited about this fight as well. You got two guys that throw a lot of punches. Neither one of them are in many bad fights. I want to bring up first, he's the fastest world champion in Puerto Rican boxing history, collecting a world title in just his 7th professional fight. On Saturday, he will look to become a unified champion in just his 11th pro fight. The man who hopes to be the next big star in Puerto Rican boxing, Oscar Collazo.
Let me lower this real quick. Thank you, everybody. First, I gotta thank God to give me this opportunity, this talent that brought me
where I'm at today. I gotta thank Golden Boys, Ocal de la Hoya, Bernard, Eric Gomez, my promoters, Miguel Cotto Promotion, que Miguel está ahí, Héctor Soto, Brian Pérez, my team, De León Team, Carlos Ortiz, Willy Cibertri, Quique Negrón, Juan de León, mi hermano Tito Collazo. Very excited, and I gotta thank a huge thank you and my gratitude for Mr. Turki Alashish to organizing all of this. You know, without him, neither of us would be here to represent our Latino state. I'm ready for this. I'm trained for this. Since day one, I wanted big fights, huge fights, and make my fights important. And what's better to get a unification fight with the Ring Magazine in Riyadh, the first Puerto Rican to fight over here in Saudi Arabia. It's a blessing, it's an honor, and I'm 100%. I'm feeling great, feeling very motivated. And what better to have Hall of Famer Miguel in my corner to see this fight. Tengo que dar las gracias a Ocal de la Hoya, con Golden Boy, Eric Gómez, mi casa promotora, Miguel Cotto Promotion, con Héctor Soto y Brian Pérez y el gran Miguel. Mi equipo de trabajo, Team Juan de León, que se compone de Willy Silvestri, Dr. Quique Negrón, Carlos Ortiz, el mío Juan de León y mi hermano Tito Collazo. Y hay que darle un grande agradecimiento a Mr. Turki Alashish por organizar todo esto y poniendo esta gran cartelera de Noche de Latino para presentarlo en un lugar donde es la meca del boxeo ahora mismo, el boxeo. Estamos listos a esto. Desde que comencé como boxeador, desde el día 1 quería retos, quería peleas grandes, quería hacer historia para mi país, para mi pueblo de Villalba. Y ahora estamos aquí. Ahora estamos aquí para pelear por el Ring Magazine y por la pelea de unificación que no se da desde 1999. Que el último fue el gran Tito Collazo, Tito Félix, Tito Trinidad. Y estamos aquí haciendo historia. Esto para mi pueblo de Puerto Rico, para mi gente de Villalba, para mi familia, mi esposa y para todos los que han apoyado en mí. Gracias a todos.
Well, we know that Oscar is one of the fastest rising stars in all of boxing. His opponent on Saturday has been a star and a name in boxing for a very long time. He's one of the longest reigning world title holders in all of boxing. 8 years a world champion, undefeated as a professional. Introducing the WBA minimum weight world champion, Tamanun Niamtrong, better known as Knockout CP Freshmart.
ครับสวัสดีครับก็ก่อนอื่นก็ขอบคุณโปรโมเตอร์ครับที่ให้ผมมาเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในคู่ชกเพื่อพิสูจน์ตัวเองในรุ่น105ปอนด์ว่าใครจะเป็นที่1ของทุกคนนะครับแล้วก็ขอบคุณผู้จัดครับที่ให้การต้อนรับแล้วก็รวมถึงชาวซาอุครับที่ให้การต้อนรับอย่างอบอุ่นครับขอบคุณครับ
First of all, he like to thank our agency concerned, particularly Golden Boy, Mr. Oscar de la Hoya, to give him an opportunity to have a fight right here to prove that who is the best in these particular divisions. As all of us know that Collazo is a very great world champion, but anyway, we are more experienced. Probably on this coming Saturday fight, all of you will know that who is the best world champion in 105 fights, and would like to get support from all Saudi Arabian people to support him. Thank you.
Well, anyone that follows boxing knows that sanctioning bodies generally can't agree on as much as a breakfast order together, much less who is the top guy ranked in a specific weight class. Well, all 4 sanctioning bodies believe that this man is the top guy in the 135-pound division. 31 wins, no losses, 27 of them coming by knockout. He is the #1 ranked lightweight contender. Please welcome El Camarón, William Zepeda.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Muy buenas noches a todos. Pues primeramente agradecerles que estén aquí presentes y comentarles que estoy muy contento, muy emocionado, motivado más que nada de estar en esta gran cartelera, esta gran noche. Agradecerle a Golden Boy, a Oscar de la Hoya, a Eric Gómez por la oportunidad, a nuestra excelencia Turki por contemplarme en esta gran cartelera donde hay mucho talento, esta gran noche latina que estoy seguro que va a pasar a la historia, donde hay grandes peleadores y para mí es un honor estar peleando en esta gran cartelera. Y pues comentarles que estoy muy emocionado, tuve una gran preparación, sabemos que tenemos una pelea muy complicada, una pelea contra un rival muy experimentado, donde vamos a salir a trabajar, vamos a demostrar quién es el Camarón Zepeda y a poner el nombre de México en lo más alto.
Good evening to everyone for being here. I'm really motivated for this fight. My preparation has been great. On Saturday night we have a great cartel. All the boxers are really experienced, really good. So I want to offer to Riyadh and to Saudi Arabia a great show on Saturday. And thank you so much to Turki Al-Sheikh. Thank you so much to Golden Boy for this promotion. And I will show you on Saturday what is a Mexican flavor.
Y arriba México y arriba San Mateo Atenco.
Viva México y arriba San Mateo Atenco.
Well, the man William Zepeda will face on Saturday has never backed down from any challenge. If you were a follower and a watcher of DAZN over the years, you saw him many times defending his 130-pound title. He is now in pursuit of a belt at 135 pounds. Please welcome Tevin, two-time Farmer.
Hey, thanks to everybody for being out here. First, I want to thank God for allowing everybody and myself to be here today, because if it wasn't for him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Golden Boy for allowing me to fight on this amazing show, Turki Al-Sheikh, DAZN, my team, Nova Sports. I can go on and on because I'm thankful for a lot of things. But Saturday night is going to be a show. It's going to be a show that nobody want to miss. You know, they're saying that William Zepeda is one of the best in the 135-pound division, which I agree. But you can't be a top dog unless you be the top dog. And Saturday night, he got his hands full with Tevin Farmer. It's crazy how I've been watching social media and I've been looking all around there, and I see Golden Boy and Eddie Hearns promoting this 5v5 with Zepeda versus Shakur, but I kind of feel like that's kind of crazy when you got a guy like Tevin Farmer in front of him. And like they said, you never put the carriage in front of the horse. I think that's how you say it. And I think it's a bad move after that, because once I beat him Saturday, I don't know who they're going to have for Shakur, because I'm not signed to Golden Boy, and I'm not signed to Eddie, so we're going to leave that there. But yeah, November 16th, just tune in. Your boy Tevin Farmer's back, shooting for a two-time world champion. And like I said, I'm going to show y'all how the USA do it. Thank y'all.
Well, I mentioned several of these fights on this card could be main events in their own right, and there's no greater example of that than the fight we have tonight, or Saturday, as the co-main event. Two guys that have been circling each other in the 140-pound division for a very long time. The first guy I want to bring up is a familiar name in this weight class, the former U.S. Olympian, the former unified junior welterweight champion, the pride of Central California, Jose Ramirez.
Bueno, como un gran mexicano también, voy a empezar con unas palabras en español. En primero le quiero dar gracias a Dios por la oportunidad que me ha dado, por el talento que me ha dado y por llegar aquí bien con mi familia, darles una buena bendición, una buena experiencia a toda mi familia, a toda la gente que me ha apoyado. También le quiero dar las gracias a mis promotores, Oscar de la Hoya, Eric Gómez, Bernard Hopkins y a toda la familia de Golden Boy. Muchas gracias por creer en mí y a su excelencia Turkey Al-Sheikh por poner este evento tan bonito, tan nomás de mirar a la cultura mexicana aquí presente. Me da mucho honor de saber que tiene mucho interés con el sabor mexicano. Estoy listo para el sábado para demostrar lo mejor de José Ramírez. Estuve tan cerca de ser el campeón absoluto de este peso y sé que tengo para mucho más. First and foremost, I want to thank God. I want to thank Him for allowing me to have this gift to be able to fight and to enjoy this experience with my family and my team and those who supported me throughout my whole career. Second, I would love to thank Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, Bernard Hopkins, and the whole Golden Boy family for believing in me. And I also want to thank Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting this great event, for believing in the Mexican culture, and just looking around this whole, the area with a bunch of Mexican stuff. It's an honor to see the country of Saudi Arabia find so much interest in the Mexican culture. I'm ready for Saturday night. It's going to be a great fight. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do my best to show people that I'm the best 140-pounder in the world. Thank you.
Well, I mentioned these two guys have been circling each other for a while. For a long time, they had the same promoter. For several years, they had the same manager. And I don't think anyone on this card is more excited for this event than the next man. Please welcome up the undefeated 140-pound title challenger, Arnold Barboza Jr.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank God. I want to thank His Excellency. I want to thank Golden Boy, Eric Gomez, Oscar De La Hoya, the whole Golden Boy team. I'm very excited. We've trained real hard for this fight. This is my title shot, how I see it. This fight has been important to me for a long time. We're ready to go out there, do what we got to do, make a statement as well. Shout out to Jose Ramirez, for taking this fight. He's a great champion. I look forward to fighting him on Saturday. And I thank you guys. Appreciate it. Shukran.
All right, thank you, guys. Looking forward to a tremendous undercard on this fight. We're going to take a minute and reset the stage to bring up the main event. We're going to face these guys off, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
That was all very nice and respectful, Sergio. No tables thrown, nothing happened there. But look, I think we know with that lineup of fighters, a lot of them do their talking in the ring. You get some fighters that like to do that kind of stuff at press conferences. I knew as soon as that was announced that these guys will do a lot of what they do in the ring, and that's what we come here for in the first place.
Yeah, we do the talking in the ring, especially Latino fighters. Latino fighters are humble fighters, they're hungry fighters, but they do their talking with their fists. So yeah, I agree with you. It was a peaceful press conference. Everyone got their words in, their thank yous in. But we want some action, Ade. We want some action. If it's not going to be the press conference, we know we're going to get the fireworks come Saturday night.
No, we certainly do, and that's one thing that man in the middle there, Oscar De La Hoya, has been calling for from his fighters as well. Look, this is a big opportunity. This is a Riyadh season event. This is the first Latino Riyadh season event over here in Saudi Arabia. You better have action. And I think a lot of the fighters will. Ziad Al-Mayouf, first time we get to see Juan Garcia this week as well. I mentioned the pressure on Ziad Al-Mayouf. He's almost become the poster boy figure here for Saudi Arabian boxing. A lot of pressure on this man to deliver on Saturday.
So much pressure. I mean, he is a great spokesman, right? He's great with words. I mean, his fight, was incredible. He dominated the conversation. But his last fight wasn't impressive, and he has a lot of work to. He's very green, but like he told us, he convinced us that, he basically is carrying Saudi boxing on his shoulder. He's a pioneer, so we got to give him credit for that. He has a lot to learn. He has a great trainer in his corner, Buddy McGirt, so we'll see where he is in his progression in this fight.
Yeah, what I like about him as well, he's openly admitted that he does have a lot to learn, but he's willing to soak it all up. soak up the knowledge, right? I mean, he's getting good sparring out in America. He comes here and he understands what his duties are as well. So look, let's see how he gets on come Saturday night against Juan Garcia.
In the super lightweight division.
I love this fight. This fight here just has war written all over it. Two guys that don't know how to or don't like fighting on the back foot. Oscar Duarte, he just comes and he comes one way, and that's right in front of you. And Akhmedov will meet him in that way as well.
This is going to be an incredible fight.
Yeah, it really is.
This is not going the distance. Forget the
No
distance.
chance.
This is not going 3 rounds, man.
Okay.
All right, so don't get up and get a cerveza, because this one right here, someone's getting knocked out. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fun. It's going to be violent.
Yeah, a credit to the matchmakers as well, because it was supposed to be Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr. Sims out. They got Akhmedov in on 2 weeks' notice, and I think that's a really good matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, proudly displaying the Ring Magazine Championship belt is the Hall of Famer, founder, and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, what a beautiful belt.
It is a prestigious belt. It is the most prestigious belt in boxing today. For many years, we feel very proud that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh will hold this belt forever and cherish it and make sure that the Ring Magazine lives on forever. We will see, because of Turki Al-Sheikh, we will see the best fighting the best. Thank you very much.
And now let's welcome the fighters competing for that belt. Tamanoon, knockout CP Freshmark, Niyomtrong, and Oscar El Fufilo Collazo, competing this Saturday in a unification bout scheduled for 12 rounds for the vacant Ring Magazine Championship and both the WBA and WBO minimum weight championships of the world.
Yeah, this is such a good matchup. It really is. Maybe it's been lost on this card because there are so many other good matchups. But Oscar Collazo, the current WBO minimum weight champion, takes on knockout CP Freshmark, the long-standing WBA champion. This is 100% number 1 versus number 2 in the division, and the extra trinket you can see behind there, Oscar De La Hoya holding the Ring Magazine belt. One of them will take that home as well. What a fight this is.
That's what you want in unification. I mean, we get the attention with the big boys, right? The Cruiserweight, it's going to be a unification. But this is champion versus champion. One of the longest standing champions. 9 years a world champion, undefeated. No one has beat him. That's what you want to see.
Farmer, William Camarón Zepeda. 10 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBC interim lightweight championship of the world.
I think we'll know just how special William Zepeda is come Saturday evening, because Tevin Farmer's not easy work for anyone.
No,
and Tevin Farmer's coming into this one having, you know, dusted off the cobwebs, if you like, in his last performance. And I think we're going to see a really good Tevin Farmer, but I'm expecting to see a very special William Zepeda.
Well, stylistically, this is the most intriguing matchup on the card for me, because you got a buzzsaw southpaw that throws 1,000 punches a fight, and then you got Tevin Farmer, who's a slick southpaw on the back foot. So Zepeda's going to have his hands foot tracking him down, and of course, Farmer's going to have his hands foot keeping off this buzzsaw.
I like it, right? What style is going to come out on top come Saturday night?
Arnold Barbosa Jr., Jose Ramirez. This our co-main event. 10 rounds scheduled in the junior welterweight division.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a stare down. I mean, look at that one.
The eyes, Chico.
They never lie.
Look at it, man. That's intensity right there. Both fighters. This is a hungry matchup between a former champion and a guy that thinks that he's been ignored by the champions. But this is his opportunity that proves that he belongs with the elite at 140.
Yeah, you can see Oscar De La Hoya buzzing for this one as well. Jose Ramirez versus the unbeaten Arnold Barbosa Jr. All right, make sure you stick with us. Still got the main event to come as well. And make sure you stick with us on DAZN, because as you guys know, we are the home of boxing.
Listen up, let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 150 fights on the zone every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts. Where are you? With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. The Zone, undisputed.
We have a very special guest with us in the studio. Look at this man, Virgil Ortiz, one of the best 154-pound fighters on the planet. Fantastic performance as well against a very tough Boyshuk. He was tough, wasn't he?
He was a tough fighter, yeah.
Tough fight, tough fight. You've said, I saw an interview you did with one of the YouTubers down here, February 22nd.
Yeah.
We are likely to see you here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Has that been confirmed or anything yet?
Most likely it's going to happen. You know, that's part of the reason why I'm here, just to talk it out
Just
with
to
Turkey.
make sure,
And
yeah.
just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Do we know what or who it could be? Or I mean, maybe don't tell us if you're not supposed to tell us.
I don't have any ideas. I mean, I have ideas, but as far as confirmation, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Final one on this before we talk about this event. Who would you like it to be, Virgil? I mean, 154-pound for me is stacked with talent, right? Top to bottom. Anyone in that top 15 is a good fight. Who would you want it to be? Who's your preference?
So there's three, man. So we got Crawford, obviously. I mean, I've been asking for that fight for a while now. I think he's a great fighter, and I would like to test myself against him.
Of course.
You know, he's a great fighter, very talented, very hardworking too. Then we got we got Fundora. Big respect to him. I just saw him. I was doing the interview right now, and he said what's up to me on the interview. You know, he's a cool guy.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's like this though. He's so tall.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, that'd be a very good fight as well. And there's one that people have been looking for. He's not at 154. It's Boots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, can I be honest with you? What a selection. Terence Crawford, Sebastian Fundora, and Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, anyone. I don't care which way the coin flips and flops. Anyone, Sergio, that's a good lineup.
That's pound for pound the best. And 3 southpaws. Who the hell wants to fight southpaws?
I didn't even notice that.
Especially 6'7" southpaws with long reaches. I mean, you're an animal, man. I love everything about it, and that's the reason people want to watch you. That's the reason you're promotable, and that's the reason you're here. Turki Al-Sheikh is willing to invest in you. Man, I applaud your courage and what you just said right now, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what fight fans want to hear, right? I mean, because you could have said any other names, but he said, okay, let me give me the best at 154 pounds, and the guy coming up, Jaron Boots Ennis, unbeaten at 147. There's a lot of talk about you guys at 147.
Yeah.
Jaron obviously struggles at 147, so why not 154? When's the cutoff for a decision to be made? Because you need to go into camp to know who you're fighting, surely.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully before Christmas. I would like to know before Christmas, you know, so I mean, I feel like that's most realistic, but of course, I don't make those decisions. They know I'm going to say yeah to whoever they throw in front of me. So it's really just whatever the team feels like.
What do you want, Sergio? What do you want?
I think Boots Ennis will make the most sense. Boots Ennis look a little bit vulnerable, but a lot of people said that he got hit too much. If this man hits anybody, he's going to crush him. So I think that one makes the most it'll be the most exciting fight, the most promotable fight.
T-Bud.
And yeah, man, bring it on.
Give me T-Bud. Give me T-Bud, Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah,
now, take all my money. Take everything.
Yeah, man, I mean, those are both good fights. I just want to go back to what you said. So it's not about, I think that he probably had an off night. You know, I'm not making an excuse for him. I don't know what's going on in the ring, but I don't think of him as any less as a fighter. I think he's just as hard as a fighter as I thought he was going to be before the fight.
Yeah, like everyone has an off night.
Yeah,
Show me one fighter that's never had an off night. All right, let's talk about this fight card. What excites you on this one? Obviously, main event's a good one. 2 good cruiserweights, go down, 135-pound fights, 140-pound fights. What excites you?
I mean, all the fights, to be honest.
Good, right?
And I'm being completely honest. I love watching William Zepeda fight. He's a relentless killer. I love watching him fight. Oscar Duarte and Batir. You know what? We were all in the same camp at one point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I sparred all 3 of them, and I'm sure they sparred each other in the past, too. They're both tough fighters. And Jose Ramirez, my favorite fighter of all time. You know, I grew up watching him in the Olympics. That's when I became a fan, and he's just I love watching him. He's a great person. He's an even better person outside of the ring. And of course, Ramirez versus Smith. You know, that's gonna be a great fight. I've never seen Smith fight before, but he's a big guy. He looks like he's very strong. He's very strong, and Ramirez, I know he's gonna put on a great show this Saturday night.
Yeah, the Jose Ramirez one, Arnold Barboza. A lot of people are talking about it because, as you know, it could have happened many years ago. And here we are now, Arnold Barboza, unbeaten. Ramirez, just a 1 defeat to Josh Taylor. Why has everyone written Ramirez off after 1 defeat? Boxing fans are crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
He lost to a very good Josh Taylor. They wrote him off.
That was undisputed.
Undisputed.
Undisputed
You
fight,
can't
yeah.
lose an undisputed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it is a good fight, though. It's good to see Ramirez back and staying busy. Because one thing about Ramirez, as you know, he's not been active.
Yeah.
Only one fight a year. You need to, as you do, 2-3 fights a year. We need to see it.
Yeah. You know, and the activity really helps. So I would like to see him in the gym a lot more as well. You know, whenever we're in the gym, I love to help him as well. And you know, it's just a learning experience. You know, we're not there to beat each other up. We're here to learn.
Yeah. Everyone knows you're a man of so many talents. Obviously, we see a lot of your talents in the ring, but I know you caught up with Claudia Trejos as well, showing off a few more of your talents, a few more of your skills.
Of course, coming from the West Coast, it's mandatory to understand our culture. Yeah. So what can you play for us that I can relate to?
That you can relate to? Okay, well, everyone knows this one, so let's see if you can guess it.
It took 5 notes. Otra cosita. So, see, I got goosebumps. This is huge. So, when you come from a very solid family, your dad has always been next to you, your abuelita is like the core of your family.
She is.
What do you play for her?
I play that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I honestly do, because every time I grab the guitar, she says, play me something, play me La Bamba. That's her go-to. She loves that song. She loves that song.
Yeah, there you go. That was good. Yeah. On the spot, so was that like first go? Was that first go?
First go.
First
yes,
go?
It was first go.
I'll speak to Claudia and ask if it was a bit. Is that what you do in your off time? I always wonder what fighters do. I know, as we said, Sergio likes a bit of golf. Darren Barker's over there. He loves golf as well. Is that what you do? Play guitar? Is that your thing?
Playing guitar is my thing. You know, I picked it up the summer between 5th grade and 6th grade. One of my favorite boxers at the time, Robert Marroquin, actually gave me my first guitar, and I just picked it up, man. Just videos, learning how to read guitar tabs, and just a lot of repetition, man. And that's really all it takes.
Just relaxes you, I guess. Something completely different, right? Away from the sport. All right, big fight coming up on Saturday. A big fight for UK fight fans, November 30th as well. This is a good one. Gilal Yafai versus Sonny Edwards. One you really don't want to miss.
What's it like growing up in a fighting family?
I don't know, man. But it's all I knew.
You learn the hard way, I suppose. It's fight or flight.
So I chose to stand and fight. Simple. Yeah, man, taking a few beatings, shed a few tears, bled a little.
I got faster, I got slicker.
Soon, couldn't be touched. And that's when this got fun.
I watched my brother become world champion.
I watched my brother become world champion.
And I thought, I want a bit of that.
And I did, and I'll do it again.
And when I do, I'll do it for a name. My name. It's more than pride. It's blood.
It's family.
And that means everything.
Maybe you're listening to this and my words don't resonate, but that's okay, because they will. When I walk to that ring on November the 30th,
take a moment and read the name on my shorts. Look at the figure beside me. This isn't just about me.
It's about me, it's about him, it's about us.
And all the lessons they taught me.
Edwards.
Yafai.
This is our story. This is our heritage. This is our bloodline.
Really, really love that fight. Can't wait for it. Sonny Edwards versus Gilal Yafai. Obviously, the team, that just went very quick, didn't it? There you go. Zerdo versus Billy Smith coming your way Saturday night, Latino night, and then Edwards versus Yafai Saturday, November the 30th. Loads of boxing coming your way before we wrap what's been a really fantastic 2024 on DAZN. I love what we're doing here. Everyone's like musical chairs. All of a sudden, if you come back to the look, Darren Barker, where you been, Darren? Part-timer here, Darren, today. Darren, you did the face-off for Sonny Edwards versus Gilal Yafai. You can speak a bit more about the Edwards versus Yafai beef, Charlie, Cal. It's been going on for ages. Years.
Look, it was an intriguing face-off. There wasn't the bad blood as such that I was expecting. There was a lot of respect, and one thing I did take away from it was how much they truly believe in themselves. They've sparred an awful lot with each other, and they've both agreed that they were fireworks. When those two get in the ring with each other, they just throw leather. They throw leather. There's a lot of pride, family pride, as they mentioned there. There's so much on the line here, bragging rights, but it's all done in good taste. There is been a bit back and forth with Gamal and Sonny and, you know, the brothers getting involved ever so slightly. But I think when it comes to those two, the respect is there and the styles are going to gel, and it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking one. Remember, that is November 30th, Sonny Edwards versus Olympic gold medalist. Let's not forget Galal fight. All right, you were over there. You had a good sort of position there watching the Undercard press conference. What did you take away from it?
Yeah, look,
respectful?
Very respectful, but I love the confidence shown from all of the fighters. You know, they understand first and foremost what a huge opportunity this is. Listening to Colasso, you know, and Freshmart saying that this is their opportunity. They both want to be that flag bearer for that minimum weight, you know, the 105 guys. They really want to be that man to catapult the smaller guys into the limelight. All of them showing so much respect. This man is extremely proud of the card. You know, he's really drumming up all of the fights, and in some weird way, they don't actually need drumming up. You just need to look at the fighters, their records, and how they compete when they get in the ring, and you know that it's going to be one hell of a show. It really is a show not to be missed.
I almost feel like it's a show, Sergio, that's grown on people. When it was first announced, everyone looked at the fights, people were like, okay. All of a sudden, when you really study the matchups, there's a story in all of those matchups as well, isn't there? Like, everything is intriguing.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, you know, because every time I study someone, I know the A side. Oh, yeah, I watched him fight. I called one of his fights. I know what he's about. But then sometimes the B side, you know, I dive into their resume. I dive into who they fight, and I start watching them on their past fights. Then I start thinking, whoa, stylistically, this is going to be interesting. I think this is a type of fight where you're going to see adversity. You're going to see pushback. Like, I think Tevin Farmer is going to give issues to Zepeda. A lot of people think I'm crazy. We're going to find out. That's an interesting one. Barboza, he's never been on the championship level. Ramirez is a former champion. Barboza's saying all the right things. It's the flip side for me. I think Ramirez is going to be doing something great because he already shook off the inactivity. So many things. We could say this about every single fight on this card, and I'm not lying when I say that this is one of the best cards of the year.
And you know what makes it even better? It's free. It's free. It is free on DAZN. Remember, just go to DAZN.com/boxing, put your email address, and you can watch all this goodness for free. Here's a reminder of what you can expect come Saturday.
It's another unbeatable fight week on DAZN.
Hello, people.
For Riyadh season Latino Night, watch for free on November 16th as world champions Ramirez and Billum Smith collide. Part of DAZN's stacked schedule of over 150 fights a year. Get closer to the action with a first-class broadcast team on any device, anywhere. All of this with no subscription required. You can't beat fight nights every week. You can't beat Riyadh season Latino Night on DAZN. Sign up for free at DAZN.com/boxing.
Not long to go as well. Press conference nearly done. Tomorrow is weigh-in, and Saturday we find out who has been doing all the talking, if they can back it up in the ring. Saturday night is fight night. Remember, live and free on DAZN. All right, it's time to get the main event press conference underway. Let's throw it down to the greatest MC of all time, Mr. Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and we welcome you in about 48 hours at the all brand new venue, the facility here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It will be champion versus champion in the main event, 12 rounds of boxing for the unified WBA, WBO, Cruiserweight Championship of the world. And it's all brought to you by, it's all presented by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, SELA, along with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Ben Shalom for Boxer Promotions. Sponsored by the Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudi Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawunya, Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Altatifa. Special thanks, ladies and gentlemen, as always, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And special thanks to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, seated behind me are the principals, some of the principals involved with this special main event for Saturday night. Let me introduce them to you. First of all, a gentleman I have introduced and had the privilege to introduce almost every time he stepped into the ring with the gloves on. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll allow me, let me kind of take you back to the old days for a very special introduction. For the Olympic gold medal champion, 6th Division, 7-time world champion from East LA and from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya. And seated next to Oscar, another one of my all-time favorites that I had the privilege of introducing in the ring many times in his boxing career, still looking like he's fit and ready to step back in there at this stage of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-division, 4-time world champion from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and from my hometown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the man known as the Executioner, Bernard Hopkins. And behind me to my left, ladies and gentlemen, CEO and founder of Boxer, Mr. Ben Shalom. Also seated, ladies and gentlemen, head trainer for Chris Minimumweight, and Smith, and he is Shane McWigan. And head trainer for Zurdo Ramirez, Julian Chua. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the two fighters. Once again, this is champion versus champion, WBA versus WBO. As many fight fans have noticed over the last year, Riyadh season loves to get to a situation where we eventually have an undisputed champion. And I think that's the goal of these two fighters you're going to see fighting Saturday night. So let's bring them out to the stage and to this final press conference for Saturday night's fight. First of all, with a professional record of 20 victories, 13 big wins by knockout, only 1 defeat, from Bournemouth, United Kingdom. He's the former Commonwealth and European Cruiserweight champion and currently the reigning, defending WBO Cruiserweight champion of the world, the gentleman, Chris Willem Smith. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, with belt on shoulder, Chris Willem Smith. And his opponent with an outstanding record consisting of 47 fights, 46 victories, 30 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat like his opponent. Damas y caballeros de Mazatlan, Sinaloa, Mexico. The 2-time world champion, former super middleweight world champion, and the reigning and defending WBA Cruiserweight champion of the world, Gilberto Zordo Ramirez. Here he is, the 2-time champion, Zordo Ramirez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I had some fun with the introductions of 2 of the past great world champions and introducing 2 reigning and defending world champions. So let me throw it over to a champion in his own right, Mr. Chris Mannix.
Absolutely no championships on my resume, Michael, but I do appreciate that introduction. Well, welcome everybody to the final press conference for the main event, Cruiserweight unification fight, Gilberto Ramirez going up against Chris Willem Smith. We've been saying all week long that this main event is going to be a good one. You know, for a long time, the Cruiserweight division has been kind of overlooked on the boxing scene. That changed some in 2018 when Alexander Usyk emerged as the undisputed champion. And I think it's changing again with emerging talents like Zerto and Chris Billum-Smith. In March, Ramirez became the first Mexican-born fighter to win a cruiserweight title when he defeated Arsan Gulamarian in just his second fight in this weight class. Chris Billum-Smith is a career-long cruiserweight who in his last fight avenged the lone loss on his resume against Richard Riakporhe. This is exactly the kind of fight that this division needs. Two of the top three men in this weight class squaring off for the unified championship. To talk more about this terrific main event, I want to bring up the Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much. Let me tell you why this fight is so very important. Not only because Billum-Smith is a world champion and Zurdo is a world champion, and we're going to see a unification fight on Saturday night in the cruiserweight division, but I heard through the grapevine that a special world champion in the heavyweight division is considering moving down to cruiserweight and fighting the winner of Saturday's fight. So Alexander Usyk is considering coming down to cruiserweight and fighting the winner of Saturday night. That's how special this fight is. Billum-Smith is a tremendous, tremendous champion. He comes forward, he has great ability, great footwork. He's a world champion, he's confident, he's trained hard. This is the fight of his life. But now hearing the fact that Usyk will consider coming back down to cruiserweight and challenging the winner is an extra motivation for both guys to be on their game and to shine and to steal the show Saturday night. What can I say? What can I say about Zurdo Ramirez? The first ever super middleweight Mexican world champion in the history of the sport, way before Canelo even considered becoming world champion at 168 pounds. Zurdo Ramirez is the man. Now he's moving up different divisions. He's going up to cruiserweight, winning world titles, and now unifying with Billum-Smith, which is going to be a very tough, difficult fight for both guys. But may the best man win. May boxing win. And again, thank you very much to Riyadh Season and to His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oscar. Little reporting there from you, Oscar. Little Usyk reporting there. I didn't really expect that. Okay, all right. I want to bring up Oscar's partner with Golden Boy Promotions, a man that needs no introductions, a man familiar with winning titles, unifying titles, and defending titles. Please welcome up the executioner, Bernard Hopkins.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone, and also His Excellency, along with Golden Boy Promotions, putting on the best fights around the world that everyone been craving for, to bring boxing back into the spotlight. So again, enjoy the fights from around the world, and of course from Saudi. Make boxing great again, and this opportunity has a chance between the champions in the cruiserweight division. So again, boxing is well alive and thriving, thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh and the fans around the world. Stay tuned, buckle up, and get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. Well, we know that Chris Billum-Smith is walking into enemy territory here on Latino Night in Saudi Arabia. So too is his promoter, Ben Shalom, the man that's backed Chris Billum-Smith for several years and is extremely confident that his guy is going to get the job done on Saturday. Please welcome the founder and CEO of Boxer, Ben Shalom.
Wow, this feels surreal. You know, when I met Chris, the dream was, let's get to Bournemouth. let's try and get our way towards a world title. And the journey just got better and better and better. I want to thank Riyadh season. It's great to be back in the kingdom. This is where boxing dreams are made now. I've seen it so many times. Latino Night, Golden Boy put on an incredible card. But for me, the best card that boxing fans have ever had for free. It really is incredible. It shows a huge, huge commitment to the sport. It'll be free on Sky Sports in the UK, and it's an incredible fight. What makes me laugh, though, is all this talk from the US media. We've had it our whole career, that Chris Smith is somehow the underdog, is somehow a mismatch. Chris Smith has been the underdog his whole life, and every time he's put down, every time he comes through. There's going to be a lot of people embarrassed on Sunday morning. I promise you that. This is an incredible fight. It's a 50-50 fight. But you have the most established guy in the Cruiserweight division, and you have a guy very new to the division, a very, very big name, but a very, very, very big fight. I want to thank Oscar. He's been incredible. Golden Boy have been incredible. Riyadh season, again, pulling out all the stops. But Saturday night is Chris Smith's night. Thank you very much.
Well, behind every great fighter, there are great trainers. And I think there are two great trainers participating in this main event on Saturday night. The guy that's guided Zepeda Ramirez for several years now through light heavyweight and now to a world title in the Cruiserweight division. A terrific young trainer on the boxing scene. Please welcome Julian Chua.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I just want to thank Golden Boy, Turkey, Al-Ashik, Chris Billam's team, Zerto, our team, and what can I say? We are ready for this fight. The media of America, I guess, has been saying this is a mismatch and blah blah blah, but we didn't take it that way. We took this fight deathly seriously, did our homework. All respect to you guys' team, but we're ready. We're 100% ready. We crossed our T's and dotted our I's. So be ready for an incredible night on Saturday night. We're looking forward to putting on a great show. Thank you.
Well, you heard from Ben Shalom, very confident that his fighter is going to get the job done on Saturday. Equally confident is the man behind Chris Smith, done a terrific job as his head trainer. Please welcome up Shane McGuigan.
We'd like to thank Riyadh Season, Golden Boy Promotions, Ben Shalom, our promoter, and His Excellency for this opportunity. Chris Smith, I've been with him for 7.5 years, straight from the amateurs the whole way through. He's was touted to become probably a British champion. He's been British champion, Commonwealth champion, European champion, world champion, and on Saturday night he's going to be a unified world champion. We've got lots of respect for Zerto and the team, but we believe that we've got the right game plan and we've got the right attributes to win this fight. But it's a Mexican night, and I think it's going to be a Mexican-style fight with two warriors coming together. And I believe there's only one winner, and that's Chris Smith. But thank you to the team, and we appreciate you guys and all the hospitality.
Well, looking at Zepeda Ramirez, it is kind of remarkable that at one point he was a super middleweight champion. The fact that he can get down all the way to 168 pounds really is something else. But in just 2 fights in the Cruiserweight division, he managed to pick up a world title, beating Arsan Goulamarian in his last fight. With a record of 46 wins against just 1 defeat from Sinaloa, Mexico, Gilberto Zepeda Ramirez.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Golden Boy, Turkey Al-Ashik. Thank you, everyone, to be here to make this possible. I'm ready. I'm ready, excited for this Saturday night. And I think I will represent Noche Latina really well. And viva México. Voy a representar bien a México este sábado. Me voy a llevar el título a casa nuevamente. Y estoy listo. I'm ready for whatever he brings to the table. I'm ready. Thank you, everyone.
Well, as you just heard, Chris Smith is pretty frequently underestimated, pretty frequently an underdog, but almost always gets the job done when he gets into the middle of the ring. He is the career-long cruiserweight, making the third defense of his WBO title and his first attempt at unifying the division. Please welcome the gentleman, Chris Smith.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us here in Saudi Arabia. Thank you to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Thank you to Oscar, Zerdo, Bernard, the whole Golden Boy. And a massive thank you to Ben Shalom, Shane McGuigan, and the whole McGuigan team and my team. It's an honor to be here on this stage. These are the fights and the shows now which are taking over the global audience, and it's amazing to be headlining this night. The last time out against Richard Riakporhe, it was meant to be his night at Selhurst Park. Just like this is meant to be Zerdo's, but unfortunately I'm here to spoil the party again, and I'll be doing that Saturday night. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and be safe.
Well, just a few questions for each of these men up here on the dais. And I want to start over here to my left. Shane McGuigan, we had a chance to talk to you earlier in the day. And for the most part, this has been a pretty respectful promotion between these two guys. But I think you and Chris and Ben took some exception to some of the comments made by Malik Scott during the week about how he believes that Zerdo is levels above, and it's levels different in this fight. Why do you believe that Chris Smith is the better man?
He's been the career-long cruiserweight. You know, he's been the guy he's avenged the only defeat on his record, and we understand when Malik probably feels like on a skill level, but this fight's not just about skill. It's about size, it's about pace, it's about power, resilience, and I think those are going to be big factors in this fight. And you know, we've got lots of respect for Zerdo, but coming out with trashy comments like that, we don't have respect for.
You know, you've seen a little bit of Zerdo at the cruiserweight division, 2 fights here. What have you seen on film from him, and what do you guys have to do to win this fight?
Well, you're only as good as your last fight, and I think his last fight was a fantastic performance against a big, strong cruiserweight. So we know we're going to go and expose our tactics, but we are quietly confident that we're going to put on a good performance and get the victory.
You've been training Zerdo for a number of years now. You've sort of shepherded his career at the 175-pound division now. Any opponent for granted here, but why do you believe that you've got the better fighter?
That skills win fights. I know that this guy is big and strong. You know, we fought punchers, and I see one path. They could try to come for victory, and could possibly, and we're ready for that. So Zerdo's prepared, and he's going to show it on Saturday night.
You know, 68 pounds, you know, got to the world title level against Dimitri Bivol, but he has looked really good at the cruiserweight division. Well, winning a world title, the cruiserweight division. Well, winning a world title in just his second fight. What have you seen different in the weight class?
I mean, he's not making himself take weight, you know. Big thing. He's happy. He's confident, and you know, it's a lot like these guys that are bigger. He puts a style on them that they're not used to, you know, that they haven't seen. So. We'll apply a lot of what we want to with these bigger guys that come right at them.
To you, you're used to being underestimated. You're used to being the underdog. Some of your. Do you take any effect of the suggestion that you're below Zerdo Ramirez?
No, I know the level is taken. It just gives me.
Hey, let's fight. Why did you want this so?
You know, there's and Gulamir, and we tried to get rid, and we weren't able to do it. He's followed his career for many it's a fantastic career, and I knew he's a fighter who will, take up any opportunity, take on any challenge, and you want those fighters in the champions when you're looking at that. So I'm really happy he get on.
I mentioned you are a career-long cruiserweight. This is your weight class. A whole bunch of wins in this division. Lawrence Okoli, Richard Riakporte, just to name a couple of them. There's 2 fights in this class. Is there your size being an advantage, your experience being an advantage on?
Yeah, for sure. It's what you do the size, and it's good just being big and strong. It's the skill and the speed and the power and the punch out that goes with that. And that's what I'm able to do. And that's why people can't live with me in this division.
So I will ask you the same question I put to Julian. What is different about you, the cruiserweight division that was there at 168, 165?
Because I'm eating better. I'm not killing myself in the division, and I'm ready. I feel here for the opportunity, and it will be my night. It will be my night, and I'll take this opportunity for myself and for Mexico.
Like a pretty long range holder, Arsan Goulet got a win in just your second in the weight class. What did you learn yourself in that fight and what you love?
Well, I show everyone that I'm ready. I'm ready to tell.
All right, so you've got obviously a game. I don't want to reveal too much. On Saturday.
Well, I need to throw a lot of punches. That's it. Every round.
It's going to be a terrific fight on Saturday. Unified cruiserweight belts on the line. Live. Check it out on DAZN as well. We're going to face these 2 guys off for Saturday. Unified cruiserweight belts on the line. Live. Check it out on DAZN as well. We're going to face these 2 guys off for Saturday night.
Interesting. Interesting comments as well. Malik, Team Zepeda, what he said, but I can tell you now, there's certainly between these. This is going to be a very competitive fight on Saturday.
Like I said, he's been a cruiserweight. This is his division. This is moving up cruiserweight, and Chris feels that they overlooking him. He's on. It's, kind of taking it should be, because that WBO belt, Brennan Smith, is he's resilient, he's game, he's power. You look at this stylistically, you are a left hook. It's an intriguing.
Darren, style cute. Is that what you said?
He has a
you might get a Mexican. You might get a Mexican. Look, yeah, style-wise, Mexican style. What CBS Mexican style he comes forward. Yes, the really hard. It's going to be a big target there. Check.
Face off here. When they let go, 30 seconds. So they can be become unified. One of us who belt number 1. I'd say we honestly think it's again both you talk. Mexican. Fights like a really, and a lot on the line
as well. What bigger than to prove the number one division. They take care of night. So about this fight. So both this and
just to on zone.com/box yourself up in all for this card as well. Fights, I mean, I can make division and Jose against Ace off. So look, the full fight kicks things off. Garcia, found out they've noticed camp extra Oscar Callejas member fight minimum William Pena. Fight is right out, takes on in the super on the arm. Just heard and guys Smith. Good. Do it. This is so good. It really is. Honestly, Crispin and Shane's really in some done with fights. Always something. It's very if you ever finding a weakness. Boy did it with a coach. He looks down the weakness.
I think so. Look, when it comes to just great to manage all those. Always into the fight, you know, cancel the preparation. It's a see Smith really fast.
Take us into the mind of how to get in those few. What get away from this? Would it be the towels?
I think for dehydrated. That's not the case. Wait for muscular. He's a big issue with him, but I think excellent shape on the scale with.
Said you're fighting Duarte. That's the one you.
The coach understands can't be anything. But look, I'm really career weight of it. Ramirez, fantastic.
The show is. We'll get tomorrow. Remember tomorrow, official weigh-in. LatinoNight. They're gonna.
tumba llama a los países